I welcome you all to this session of app development in ASP.NET. As we have quite a good gap between the sessions due to some work of mine also and for the organizers also. So I believe we have to continue, and today is the day where we are going to discuss about the templates and changing in the templates. So first of all, I would like you to know that what are templates, why are they made, who made them, how we can get benefited out of it, and rest of the things. And I will not suggest you as a beginner, means I will not suggest any beginner to start directly with the templates, start changing and updation in the templates before having a good knowledge in designing of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So I will not suggest for the beginners to start directly with the templates to design the website or application using Visual Studios or any other platform. If you have some knowledge, then only go to the templates. But basically, professionally, templates are being used to design big applications, and most of the company use the templates. Most of the companies have the policy not to use the templates. Okay, but the templates are being used because to cut down the time of development of any application, the designing part. I mean, templates are only used in the designing part of a web application. Okay, so whenever you would like to have some templates, just go to Google and search for website templates, responsive website templates or Bootstrap website templates. You're going to get many of them. But the thing is that most of the templates are paid one. Some charge $20 to $50, some are $100, $600, depend upon the quality of the templates, depend upon the company which is making the templates. The most popular templates making company is ThemeForest. They design templates in I cannot describe the kind of quality they give to their templates for the end users to use them. That's why they are charging very much high. If some developer requires those templates, they have to pay and purchase those templates, and further then they have to amend on those templates. How those amendments are being done, we are going to see in this session. And I'm going to make you see some templates which I have already downloaded, and let's go. Okay, so I will be opening the templates folder of mine so that we can see the templates also. You are going to get many templates, e-commerce templates or login page template. Remember, we have designed a login page with a simple HTML controls. Now you can see in all the templates, you're going to find many pages. Some have single page templates, some have multiple page templates. And these are the files which are getting support, the images which are getting supported by the template. These are the JavaScript files. What I have to do, I just have to open the index file. Now this template is getting open. It's Adidas website template. So you can see the image over here. You can just change the image also. As you just scroll down, You can see all the things are being made right here. Everything is made in this website for designing. Okay, the template is by W3 Layouts. You can search for W3 Layouts in your Google and you're going to find the many templates. Now sign up and save. Let's see what comes. Okay, you can see it over here that we have create account page on our screen. We can go to the web and we can just go to the register also and login also. Let's see how login template looks like. Okay, so you can see this is the login page template with the name. It can be written over here with the name password. Now remember earlier what we have designed in our ASP.NET form. We created a text box, okay, and we created labels also. We created a table also, but that is not enough. In order to make everything professional, you need to change the design to make it very much attractive. In order to make those designs professionally, you need to have Bootstrap CSS with JavaScript implemented in your form. Then only they are going to look like kind of this thing. Okay. Now, if you just, what I will do, I will open the entire project in ASP.NET Visual Studios and make you all guys see how does it look like. I will copy the path of the entire template. Now let's do some other thing. Let's do with some other template. I'm not finding this template very much attractive. Login registration. We have a login registration template right here with some CSS file, with only one CSS file, with image, with which we have 2 images. We have JavaScript. We don't have any JavaScript. We just have only one index file. When we open this index file, you're going to see this kind of design. We have a new login page also over here, login button also. You have create login button right here. Now, if we want to do some amendment in this particular login page, what we have to do, we just have to go to the link and we are going to open this link on our Visual Studios framework. We will write open website, and as the site is open, we are going to paste this link, means the path of the files where it has been situated, and we will just open the. Now here you can see the same, all the things, the CSS file, the images file, the JavaScript, which we don't have in Java, and a single HTML file is here. When you double click on the index file, you're going to see a huge amount, not a very much huge amount, but a handful of amount of the CSS, the HTML tags. Now how to change? Now remember, these are the links where the CSS is being situated. Okay. Now how to make changes? Now first, let me right click on it and view in browser. How does it look on browser? Now like this it looks on the browser. Now suppose we have to change this heading. So we have to find out where this heading is written. Login or create a free account. So you can find it over here that it is written in heading 1 tag, under heading 1 tag. Login to create a free account. Now if we want to change something, we can create TechCat session for web mint. Save it and just refresh the page. You are going to see the changes right on the screen. Now to make these changes, you need to know where you have to change and what you have to change, right? Now it's written something in Latin or some other language, this thing. It's written something here. Now we can find it right here. Okay, we would like to change, if we want to change this sentence in order to according to ourselves, according to the project, then what we will write? We will write something from P to P. We will write we are testing the templates for our sessions. We will save it and we will run the page once again, or we can just refresh the page and you can see the changes what we have applied on the HTML part, that we can see on the screen. So most of all, these are the things we have to change inside the templates. Okay, now I will go one step further. I will do one thing. You can see right here that this username and this password are both having HTML controls with input type text. This is the not for the create or for the change password. You can find it right here. Input type and input type password. Now we will just eliminate the inside part, not the li. The input part we will be replacing with text box. Okay. Now here we cannot change because the form main screen div and form. We have to make some changes because you can see it form over here in our ASP.NET part. We have form here. Okay. Means everything comes under the form, not div should come under the form. Everything come under the form and form should be runnet server. ID equals to form 1 server. Okay, let's do one thing. As we are doing some changes, let's do some other change. Let it be as it is because it's an HTML page. Now what we will do, we will be creating one more page, a web form, an ASPX page. Okay, we will be adding the ASPX page, and inside this ASPX page we will be adding the codes of the template, means this index page. Now as it's written from inside the head, what is inside the head? These are the things inside the head. We will copy this thing, we will paste this thing inside the head in our ASPX page. We have divs, just close the div part. We will copy all the inside part of body, and in our form, remember we have by default we have in form tag inside body tag, and we are going to paste everything inside the form, right? Now as this page is ASPX page, now we can change the HTML control with our ASPX control, with our .NET control. Suppose we have in our login tag, we have this li, line tag is opening over here, line tag is closing over here. Inside we have input tag, which is the same, what is, you can see it right over here, username. This is the username. So we cannot write code with the HTML control, so we need to change the HTML control with ASP controls. Now how to change it? Just select the input from input tag to closing tag of input, and we have to, now you can see all the ASPX control is appearing because we have just changed the page from .html to ASPX. We are taking this one. Just a minute. We need to do something else. Just select it and select the, okay. So you can see it over here that the HTML part, HTML control is gone and the ASPX control is ready to use. Now if we just save it and if we just run the page, you can see no difference right here. Okay, no difference, you can see, find it right here. Now we have to open this page. Okay, you can find the login text box right here, and you can find the password written inside the text box, but login user ID is not written inside the user ID of the login text box. Now you can see the small the light text written inside the password text box. As we write something, that particular word disappears. That is called a placeholder. As the password text box of HTML control contain have the placeholder, that the same thing we are going to paste it inside our ASPX control. Only the password will be USER ID. Now you can see, if we just refresh the page, the user ID appears inside the text box. Why placeholder property is being used? Because what user ID, where to write the user ID, in which text box, how the end user is going to know. To make them understand, we have to use placeholder, so that it appears the label of the text box, what we have to write inside it. And as we write anything, that particular placeholder get disappear. As we clear the text box, the placeholder gets appear immediately. Means if the text box doesn't have any data, the placeholder is going to work. If we start writing inside the text box, which placeholder denote that what we have to write inside the text box, the placeholder get disappear. It's a very interesting property of any text box. Okay, the same thing we are going to use for the input text box of password also. From here to here, we are not going to do anything with the line tag. Only the input tag we have to change with HTML to text box. So, and the placeholder is not written inside it, so we have to write the placeholder also. The placeholder will be password. Okay. So these two controls from HTML to ASP.NET, ASPX control, we have just changed, but it will look the similar way inside. You cannot distinguish the ASPX control and the HTML control, because all the things are being attached with the CSS and JavaScript, and everything is written. You can find it right here also. It's written class write form. This is the class which has been used to decorate, to put the section inside the right hand side. So all the CSS has been used on this form. We just have to change small things according to our requirement, and we can go through it. Means we have to change the HTML controls with ASPX controls after converting the HTML file to ASPX page, .NET page. Okay, so I wanted to know from you all guys that what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do here, what I'm making you understand with in these sessions. Are you all getting all the points what I'm trying to say? Anybody? Why you use templates, how we use templates, what are the benefits to use templates? Means if I have to design this kind of entire form, it will take me time, effort and energy. So why not to use the pre-made login form for our project? It will cut the time also, my effort also, and only thing I have to change is the ASPX control from HTML control, and that will do, as well as the button also. So guys, I wanted to know, is everything is getting clear inside your mind what I'm trying to do here with the templates, with the HTML templates, how to convert them to our ASPX control, and how to make use of it? Anybody can answer? Okay, so we will be proceeding further. After this two text box, we will be needing a button. So remember, this is the HTML button, but it doesn't have any work in server-side coding. That why? Because it's an HTML code. So we need to change the button also. So what we are going to do, we are going to add a button instead of this one right here. Now, if we just refresh the page, you can see the login button is like kind of a thing. When we move mouse on top of the button, it changes color. When we remove the mouse, the color changes. So the button which we have put, okay, you can see the same thing with this button also. But the thing is that this button is the HTML control. Now we have to change the text of the button, and here it goes. The button changes as well as the text box also have been changed from HTML to SPX control. Rest of the thing we don't have to touch, the control, the CSS or the designing part. It will save our time. So I think I'm very much clear with the work which I'm doing right here, right now. Guys, please, anybody can answer so that I can proceed further. Sip Santosh, S. Ghosh, Pratyush, Kumar, Pradhi. All the things which I'm just explaining right here, is everything is okay to you all guys? Okay. So we will be moving on to the new account, means the registration part of this thing. You can see the tick sign is also over here. All this design, the color, the font size, font color, everything is completely dependent upon the CSS which this template is using. We don't have any work with the CSS. We are not going to use any changes in CSS and JavaScript. Without making any changes, we are going to change only the HTML control which we require to build our login and registration form. Means the buttons we have to change and the text box we have to change. Whatever HTML control is there, we have to replace it with our ASPX control. Now it's time for the new registration for the username, email, password and password. Now what we will do, we will be changing these controls with ASPX control. Now where to find this control? You can see it's written new account. So we have to find the new account. You can see the new account is written over here. It's written under H2 tags. H2 is header tags. You can use this header tag to enlarge the headings. 1 stands for the largest. I believe 1 stands for the largest. And as we go on, 2, 3, 4, 5 all stand for the smallest header tag. Now below the header tag, you can find here that it's written inside the anchor tag. There's a input text box which says placeholder username. So what we are going to do, we are going to just copy the placeholder because we don't have to write it again. We will just copy the input tag from starting to end, and we will be clicking on to the text box so that it replaces the existing one. And then we are going to paste the placeholder. Now this is the way to change the control, text box control from HTML to ASPX control. Now if we just run the project and refresh the page, you can see no changes is being done with the username text box, as well as no changes are being done with the designers also. So the control from HTML to ASPX changes or replaced easily without disturbing the design. We will be going to the next tag also. We will be copying the placeholder and the input text box, the HTML text box, we are going to replace it with our text box, and then we are going to paste the placeholder. In the same manner, we are going to place the control C. We are going to paste the password with the text box. We are going to paste the placeholder. In the third thing also, we are going to replace the input text box of HTML with the ASPX text box, and we are going to paste the placeholder. You can see what I am doing. Sorry, something went wrong. Here is the right position. Now, if you run the page, refresh the page, you're going to see the same thing exactly with the same design. We change the controls according to our requirement. Means we only require text box and button to execute the server-side coding. That's why we change only those two things, not any labels, not any color, or not any other icons and anything else. Now here you can see if we write something in password, the alphabets are being written. So remember, in password we have the text mode should be password. So in password also we have to add one more property. Text mode equals to password. Okay. The same thing we are going to paste it to the second password, and the same thing we are going to paste in the password text box of login side. Means this side. You can see we can write SD right here. If we just refresh the page, and now you can see if we write something, it's going to appear as we are writing some dots. Okay, and none other the design and nothing else from the design is being changed. We have to change the create account button also. Okay, so create account button is where it is. It's right here, submit button. Okay, now to this submit button, we are going to replace it with the button, the ASPX button, and we are going to write the CREAT, create, ASCCOUNT, or we can write sign up. Sign up. This also means creating an account. Now, if we just refresh the page, you can see sign up button so it appear over here. Means we didn't make any changes with the CSS. We didn't make any changes with the JavaScript. We didn't make any changes with the design and the UI, the user interface from these templates. But the designing part, the time and the effort for designing all these things have been saved if we have used this template. Now the thing is that the kind of controls, the controls which we use to execute login button, that control should be ASPX or server-side control or ASPX control. So as we have changed this user ID text box also to ASPX from HTML, same thing goes for this password also. Same thing goes to the left-hand side new account using password also. All the text box are being changed from HTML to ASPX, and the buttons are being also changed to from HTML to ASPX. And nothing is changed into this design. Now we can execute with the server-side coding for the login order and for the new user account. But before that, you should know something. You should know some part of JavaScript also for the validation. Means if somebody has not written the username, if somebody has not written the email ID correctly, if somebody has not entered the password twice, and then if you press this button, what should happen? Alert should happen. Alert should appear and make you know that what field or what text box are being left empty. Okay, if by mistake some person write the wrong password or leave the email ID text box, the page should itself show them that what they are missing and what are to be entered in order to proceed further. All these codes will be written on client side view, means the place where we are using HTML and CSS, where to write, how to write JavaScript, how to add validations, what codes to be written on client side to this ASPX button. Everything I'm going to show you right now. Now, before that, I would like to show you some example. Okay, now do one thing. Open MuteBreak and go to the login page. Okay, and without writing any ID and password, press the login button. you're going to see an error, an alert box, which will be saying that please enter the user ID. Once you write the user ID, and then again, if you just press the login button, it is going to show you another alert saying that please enter the password. And then when you enter the correct password and press the login button, it's going to take you to the inside of the web application. Until unless it's keep on showing you that please enter this, please enter this, please enter that. Okay, so these are called validations, right? How these validations are being used? We are going to use some JavaScript right now. As the JavaScript is included in this particular session, and there might be mistaken that it has not been mentioned right here, but we will be using JavaScript. So most of all, JavaScript is a client-side coding, and we use it for validations and for several other purposes like calculations, like it is also being used to retrieve and send data also. Remember that we have used select statement, update statement, save statement, and delete statement. Whatever statement, whatever code we write on our server side panel, the server side code is going to make the page refresh again and again when we press the button to execute some server side coding. Okay, so but JavaScript is a programming language which is made especially for web applications to execute some calculations or logical query or some work without making page being refreshed. Okay, so don't you think if you just press the login button without writing any user ID and password, once you press the login button, the page is going to refresh itself again, and then it's going to show you a alert box saying you have not written your user ID. Again, when you press the login button, the page again is going to refresh itself, load itself again on the browser, and it's going to show you please enter your password. Don't you think it's going to take a little bit longer timing? Refreshing the page means a request is being generated from the client, which is sent to the server, and when the server returns the request, that all things appear on your browser, and all these things require refreshing of the page. If your net is slow, then the refreshing is going to be slow. The page loading will be slow. So what we did for the validation, for stopping users to make mistakes, stopping users to leave anything important field empty, we use JavaScript validation, which will tell user what mistakes and what fields are they keeping empty without making page refreshing again and again, and without sending the request to the server, and stop making the page being refreshed again and again. Now, how to write the JavaScript coding? Remember, to write JavaScript coding, we need to write that JavaScript coding on top. Means you can write it on top also, means above the head also, and at the bottom, means after the form, below the body tag. What we are going to do, we are going to add a language by opening a tag. We will be writing script, closing the tag, and inside the script we will be adding type equals to text JavaScript. Okay, so now follow me very carefully. Where the form tags end and the body tags end, we have to write this JavaScript code between the closing of form tag and the closing of body tag. Now this is the process. We added something. Now what we are going to do, we are going to declare the controls what we are going to use in JavaScript. Okay. So how to do that? First of all, I would like to show for this one, the login, because it has only 2 text box and 1 button. So what we are going to write, in order to cut everything into short, I will be using something pre-made. Okay. All right. Now this is not the thing. The thing is that we need to add something. And we will be adding for the text box, just to cut the time to write the entire HTML code. Please excuse me, just a minute. Okay, so we will be using these kind of a thing. Now where to go? Here to go. I will be explaining you everything, just don't get worried. Now what we will do, we will be adding this entire code, but we won't be needing these all these codes. Okay. A and P. First of all, we have to create a function, and we have to write the name of the function. The function name is check R. We just rename it check, CHECK, check. And remember, this curly bracket is closing right here. We declared a 2 variable, A and B, and A controls the part of text box 1 and 2, because 1 is the user ID and 2 is the password for the login side. A having all the values from text box 1, B is also having all the values from text box 2. Now this is the process of writing. We will write if bracket B dot value equals to blank. Then what will happen? A curly bracket will open and a curly bracket will close. And inside this, we have to write alert, bracket open, close. Please enter the password. And after the alert being appeared, the B should be focused, means the cursor should be on the B part. Focus. And then return, means ending of the text box. Now you just be careful with the curly brackets, where it is going to end, from where it is going to start. Now this is the thing what we have written on our HTML page. We just added a tag with a script, and inside that script we have selected type text equals to JavaScript, means we are going to add some JavaScript inside this tag, the script tags. What is the JavaScript? First of all, we have to create a function. Inside that function, we have taken 2 variables, A and B. A is attached to text box 1, which is user ID for login, and B is attached to text box 2, which is password to getting login. Now here we have written if we all remember, we did if else statement in our server side control also, but the writing the script, the syntax of writing in VB.NET server side control and JavaScript are different. It's not a very easy tough job. You can just if you keep on writing small validation, you will be able to know the entire syntax and tags, how to write the validation in JavaScript. If a equals to value equals to means we have to give two equal signs for equal, and blank we have to use single inverted comma 2 times. The alert is please enter the user ID, user ID. Okay, now the function we have written, if the B will be empty, the alert will show please enter the password. If A will be empty, the alert will show please enter the user ID. A is connected to text box 1, B is connected to text box 2. Now we have to call this function to our button right here. If we just press it, we will be getting on client click equals to return check check, like this. Means client, we have written clearly on client click return check. What is check? Check is the function in JavaScript, and we are writing it on client click. Now let's see what's happened. Just save it and just refresh it. I know it's getting a little bit typically tough for you guys for the first time to get encounter with the JavaScript, but you will come to know slowly and slowly if you just keep on practicing with it. If we don't write anything in our user ID and passwords, and if we just click the login button, okay, now here you can see it is saying please enter the user ID. Now you can see the page is not getting refreshed. In our later examples, in our later sessions, all the controls which we have written, by pressing any button, the page is getting refreshed by itself to execute the server-side coding. Remember, to execute the server-side coding, the refreshing of the page is important. It can also be stopped. That means the refreshing of the page can also be stopped with the server-side controls also, but that's a different thing. That's something very an advanced feature using in ASP.NET. But to stop the page from being refreshed again and again, and to show the user, the end user, what mistakes they are doing, we are going to use HTML and JavaScript validation. Now, if we just press the login button and the user ID is empty, the pop-up message will come, the alert message will come. This alert message is coming from where? From our JavaScript. That please enter the user ID. We will press OK and we will write. Suppose this is my user ID. Now we haven't written anything in our password. And then again, if we just press the login button, you can see it's again showing an alert saying that please enter the password. The page is not getting refreshed. Okay. Because we have written the server side, client side coding, the JavaScript in client side. And we press OK and we have to write the password. Whatever password you will be. Now, if we press the login button, you can find it right there that the page is going to refresh. Because JavaScript, the validation are being over, the conditions are being fulfilled. Now it's not going to show any alert box, because the alert was for empty text box for the user ID and password. Now both the text box are being filled by the user. Now it's not going to show any alert. And now if you press the login button, the server side control is going to be executed and the page is going to be refreshed. As we haven't have any server side coding, but still is going to be refreshed. Now just watch the refresh button, this one. Okay, if you press login button, okay, you can see it's because it's in my local server, that's why it is getting very quick. The page is getting refreshed. Okay, so now what we will do, we will be using the same feature, the validation feature for the new account also. Means we have four text box right here, and we have one button, and we are going to call a different function. Means the name of the function should be different, we are going to call the same JavaScript function to the sign up button and see the validation, see the alert box. How does it work? Now what we are going to do, we are going to copy this function from here to here. We are going to paste it right here. Means this function should be check one. Now we have, let's find the controls. What we have, but text box 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now for the check one, we will be writing A will be 3, 4. Now here we are again using A and B variable, but the thing which A is going to have is text box 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. We will be copying this, both the two from above. We will be pasting it A, B, C, and D. And 3, 4, and 5, 6. 5 and 6. Now, if we press this button, sign up, and nothing is written on the username text box, the alert should show, please enter the username. Okay. Now, A will be, please enter the user, not from ID, name. Okay. Just concentrate on the checkbox, check one function, because the check function has been over. Everything has been over. We are not going to see anything of it. We are going to focus on this function, which is for the new user signing up. Then the B, what is the B? B is email. So B is email. Please enter your email. Your email ID. Delete the password. Now, if we find if this function find B empty, then it is going to show you and pop up with this alert box. Now the times comes for C. So what we will do, we will copy the same thing. From B we will write C. Focus will be C, and we will be the C is the password. Please enter your password. Password. Now again from this if statement we will be copying and we will be pasting CD. Now it's time for the D. If D is empty, please enter confirm password. Confirm password, D. Okay. So the first function was for the check, for the login text box and button. The second function, the name of the function is check one. We have 4 text box, so we have written 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have chosen A, B, C, D variable for each text box. And only thing we did, we just added 2 more alert box alert box message to show if the alert if the text box are being empty, then this alert is going to be shown. Now we are going to write this function checkbox 1 to the button, sign up button, which is button 2. We will be writing on client click equals to return check 1 and this one. Okay. Now let's just run the page and refresh the page. Now if we press the sign up button, alert shows please enter the say username. Just see the cursor automatically went to the username. I will write Shad Hussain. If I again write click sign up, it is saying me please enter the email ID. Then we have just selected email ID. Let's it is something wrong in here. A B C D. Okay. Now if you press the sign up button, it is showing me please enter your password, and the cursor went to the password. We will write any password. Suppose I write 1 2 3 4 5 6. Again it is showing me, if I press the button, leaving the confirm password text box empty, it is showing me please enter your confirm password. Okay, then we will write 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then we press the sign up, the server side control, whatever server side control we will write behind this button is going to be executed. Okay, you can see the page is getting refreshed. The page is getting refreshed. Means after checking the validation, if all the validations are correct and fulfilled, then only the button is going to execute the server side control. Okay, and the page is going to be refreshed. But if we have written something with the validation in JavaScript, the page is not going to refresh and is going to show us a simple alert box. So this is the use of the JavaScript to add validations. There are many features of JavaScript, and we can use it in many other ways and in many other places. But that's a very high level kind of thing. Now in here, I'm going to show you a small condition system in JavaScript. Remember, we have password also. In first, if I write 1 2 3 4 5 6, if I press the sign up button, it shows me confirm password. In this the second confirm password text box, if I write 9 8 7 4 5 6, then also what is happening, the page is getting refreshed. Means it is the JavaScript is just checking that the text box is empty or not. Okay, so in order to check match, both the passwords should be same, we have to write one more condition, where in our this one, means the condition will be a little bit different. Means we already have defined C and D, 5 and 6 text box, which are all of password. We will be writing if D C dot value, just a minute, the not to sign is for what? Okay, this, if we write this, it means not equal to D value, this one. Are you getting my point? After CD, if the value of C is not equal to value of D, means this is the sign we use for not equal to. Then the alert should show, please enter the correct password. Correct password. And C or D is going to be focused. Now, what will happen if we write 1 2 3 4 5 6 on our first text box and 1 2 3 4 5 6 on our second text box? The page is going to refresh because it fulfills all our validation. But if on one text box 1 2 3 4 5 6 and in second in our confirm password text box, if you write 1 2 3 4 5 only, by mistake, the application is going to make us understand that we have not written the password correctly in the both text box. This is also a condition which is made inside our JavaScript. If we write the same password as above, then what will happen? Nothing will happen. The page is going to refresh and the server side code is going to be executed. So this is the part. This is something a very small kind of a tricky part of JavaScript, how we use to create validations. So in today's session, we have just learned about the templates. We did some changing in the templates, and we used JavaScript also for validation. Okay, all these small things combine and project web application is made. Okay, so if we don't have any these validations, what will happen? We will just if we just press the sign up or login button, keeping the text box empty, an error might be shown, an error might be seen. Okay, in order to eliminate the errors, in order to put the user make the user use of the form correctly in correct manner, we use JavaScript validations. And we use templates only at the time when we have the entire and a very deep knowledge of chain HTML tags. And in order to cut the time into short, if somebody asks me to make a project in a week, and if I sit to design this kind of entire form with the CSS and anything, I need to do much more R&D and experiments, which will require time, effort, and my presence in front of the system. So to cut the designing part, we use small templates, but I don't recommend using of the template for the beginners until and unless you have a good knowledge of HTML, because you should know from where to where we have to change anything, where to write the JavaScript coding, where to write where the tag is ending, where the tag is opening, where is the opening tag of a particular control. You should have a good knowledge of that. Then only you can use templates, change the template according to your need, according to your requirement, and make the time shorter to design any applications. Only thing you have to change is the text box from HTML to ASPX and write the JavaScript validation code into it. The buttons means the things which we are going to use in our server-side control, that only things we have to change inside the templates. I don't find any use to changing this this label. I don't find any use to change the color of this label also. That's why I have left it like it as it is. So guys, I believe I have made you all clear what we did just right now with the use of templates, changing in the templates, and something about the JavaScript also, the validation of JavaScript, why JavaScript is being used. So by this, I am ending the session. Tomorrow we are going to use creating local server IIS. Okay, it is a very interesting chapter. Tomorrow is going to be a very interesting session, I guess, because when we are going to use we are going to create a server inside your very system. If you are using Windows operating system, no matter whatever version of Windows you are using, 10, 7, 8, or anything, the process, the IIS will be the same in all our Windows operating system. The version of IIS is keep on changing according to the Windows, but the process will be the same. Now the thing is that whatever we are making, we have to host it in some other part. Means the user should not will not have Visual Studios to open Visual Studios and then open the project and use according to them. They should directly open the project on a browser. How that's going to happen? That's what we are going to know and learn in tomorrow's session. IIS, IIS, how it's come, and everything such like that. So I believe the session is ended. Now I will take my leave. If you guys have any questions, just keep in touch with me with my WhatsApp number or with my mail ID. I will be clearing your doubt also. If you have any doubt, just get in touch with me. So I will be seeing you tomorrow with the session of detail and deep knowledge with the IIS to making your website host in your local machine. How does it look? How it has been done, and making your system working as a server, a local server. That's what we are going to see tomorrow. So thank you guys. Thank you for being with me. We will be seeing you. I will be seeing you tomorrow. Okay.